Hello dear friends, so welcome to this new tutorial on AWS. In the last session we basically visited one of the deployment techniques that was CloudFormation. We discussed how we can deploy our application or how we can create a stack using CloudFormation. We created an EC2 instance and S3 bucket using CloudFormation script. So now in this tutorial we will be basically focusing on the next technique of deployment, that is Elastic Beanstalk. So let's say you have a web application and which uses certain technology. Now these days there are various technologies using which you can build web applications. Let's say you have a web application, say the underlying platform is Java or it is PHP or be it any other language. So with Elastic Beanstalk basically we can deploy our application without having to worry about all the other factors. So let's say if your application requires some softwares, or if let's say if you have a PHP application or if you want Tomcat server, it will all be taken care by this Elastic Beanstalk. You will just have to upload the code and you can just keep your application up and running. And also if you want to make any updates to your application, it is pretty simple using Elastic Beanstalk. And if you want to start a virtual server automatically, then also this can be done by Elastic Beanstalk. And after this, if you want to view some log or monitoring, then also this can be taken care by Elastic Beanstalk. And again, as we discussed, we can scale up our application using Elastic Beanstalk. So there are certain advantages of using Elastic Beanstalk. So we'll be just doing a very quick demo on this Elastic Beanstalk. It will not be a long session. So let's go to Elastic Beanstalk. So if you want to go to Elastic Beanstalk, under all services you'll see compute, and under compute you can see Elastic Beanstalk. And if you want to navigate through services section, you can expand services. Again, the same thing is here. Under compute you will find Elastic Beanstalk. You can click on anything. So this is the landing page. Here we can say get started. If this is your first time, then you'll see that get started. So you can give your application a name. So we'll give our application a name, my app. I'm just giving the name as my app. Choose the platform. So depending on your platform, you can choose this option. If you have a Java application, then you can go to Java. And then you have if you have a PHP application, you can choose PHP, and according to the platform which you want, you can choose that language. So we'll be going with PHP. So if you want to upload your own code, that should be in zip or var, or if you want to use a sample application which is provided by Amazon, you can simply check sample application. So in this case we will not be creating any own application, so we will simply be selecting sample application. After this you can say create application. So it will start creating the application. So it will take some time. So it will create the resources in the backend. It will launch an EC2 server with your PHP configured. Will be showing you EC2 server also. First of all, I'd like to show you if we have an instance running. So we'll see all the details from Elastic Beanstalk console. Go to EC2 first of all. All the resources management will be taken care by Elastic Beanstalk itself. So we don't have to worry about that. Right now you can see we have 0 running instances. Let's wait for our environment to be up and running. So it says, so now you can see it is creating security groups. This is EIP Elastic IP which is allocated. There you go. You can see now it has launched an EC2 instance which is of T1 micro, and the region is US East 1, which is North Virginia, and IP you can see 54.152.137.53, which is given up here, and we have our private DNS and public DNS also. So it has launched this EC2 instance which will be used. So once this gets created, we will be allocated an endpoint for our application, clicking which we'll be able to navigate to the PHP application. And that application is sample application. Again, if you want to upload your own code, the steps are already given Instead of choosing sample application, you can choose your custom code and you can upload your own code. And you can see it has given us the URL to access the application. Let's click it. Right now it's not up. Let's wait for some time. You can see it has also created an Amazon S3 storage in case you want to store some data. It has created S3 bucket, which is Elastic Beanstalk US East 1 4924. Let's navigate. So our instance is up, sample env, you can see the name up here, and here sample env was our application. So we are seeing this EC2 resource, and if you want to see the bucket, navigate to services, go to S3.